Yes, now we can see.
All right. All these slides are available on Core Campus. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at them. Did anyone had a chance to look at the slides on Core Campus?
No, not from my side.
No.
All right. So this is a new series that we are going to be doing. If you can remember, for the past 2 weeks, I think we've been looking at relationships. So we've been looking at customer relationship management. We looked at the customer life cycle. The emphasis was on getting acquisition, extension, and retention, if you remember very well. And we spoke about the 5 I's of achieving extension. What are those 5 I's?
The 5 I's: identification, individualization, interaction, integration, and integrity.
Okay, correct. Correct. I don't know if I mentioned this during our previous engagement, but I've managed to change the modus operandi on my daytime class. So we do not have a lecturer in that class. Everyone is a lecturer. I think we also need to do the same thing in this class, and I hope we should be able to manage it virtually, because I don't know how it could work virtually. So everyone prepares for the lesson. Then we both facilitate the lesson. So we can always have a schedule, or anyone can volunteer that today I'm the one who's going to facilitate the discussion in the class. So you are not teaching per se, you are just leading a discussion. This is in preparation for the F3 assignment, so that those who do not have confidence, or, to just upskill or train you guys. I don't know. Do you like that idea, or you feel like, no, it's too much?
It could work.
Obnolo?
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm okay with it. To there and there, I'm okay with it. With things I'm familiar with.
Yeah, it's always good when you are discussing and we are both on the same page. And that only happens if all of us, we know what you are talking about, rather than one person. So it becomes what I would call knowledge collaboration. So it helps, but I'm paid to lecture you guys, not the other way around. So if you feel like it's too much, considering that, for Obunola, I don't know what Razia does during the day, but she said she was sleeping. But for Obunolo, you suddenly from work, then now you have to think, I need to prepare for the lesson. It can be something else. But we'll see, guys. We are going to discuss the practicalities on Tuesday. Remember, on Tuesday, we are meeting. Are you aware of that, guys?
Oh, yes.
On Tuesday, we are meeting on campus at we are leaving for Flume at 1:30. So you guys should be there. Are you aware of that, Obunolo?
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay. Yeah, I want to ambush you all of a sudden. Yo, my boss, this, I forgot to tell him, it's short notice, and stuff like that. So I'm just hoping that it doesn't get cancelled, last minute. But I know that is going to happen, because I spoke to the guy and he wanted me to confirm who is coming and who is not coming. and I can do that. I'll confirm with him to him on Monday. I'll ask all the students to see who is going to make it and who is not going to make it. All right. So from lesson 97, as we move forward, we are going to look at customer experience, CX. And with this lesson, lesson 97, I'm going to introduce the topic, the concept of digital customer experience, because I know that you guys have heard the term customer experience several times. You know, it's something that is used even in offline marketing, but because we discuss digital marketing, so we are going to discuss how it fits in digital marketing. Then you should also be able to know how to create an effective digital experience. So these are the key terms that you are going to come across as we engage on this subject. You are going to come across the concept of customer experience, digital experience, conversion rate optimization, customer experience management, and customer journey. But before we engage on a class activity, are there any words on the screen that you feel like you are not familiar with? That would say, no, this word, you know, I've never heard it before. Or I've heard it, but I wouldn't know how to describe or define it. I assume you guys are all familiar with all these words.
Yes, they look familiar.
Okay, so in your own words, according to your own understanding, what do you think customer experience is?
I think in my own words, I would say that it is like how customers' perception of the experience with the business, like how they genuine with the brand or the business, like overall.
Okay. All right, let's hear Razia.
I agree with Ogunolo, like the what's another word for experience? The customers, you know, perception all along his or her customer journey.
Okay, I know there's some certain concept that you actually know and you are 100% and you know it, but now putting it in pieces, like trying to explain to someone, it becomes difficult. So yes, everything that you guys have shared is actually true about customer experience. But I'm going to give you a more detailed definition of customer experience. Remember, when someone asks you, for example, in this case, what is customer experience? The moment you are mentioning the same word in a definition, you'll be sort of repeating yourself. For example, if you say customer experience is the experience that a customer has with a brand. It's like you didn't say anything, Moose. So stuff like that. But I know, I'm 100% certain that you guys know what customer experience is. So do you think, or how do you think digital tech, based on what you've just said about customer experience, guys, how do digital technologies cultivate customer experience according to your understanding?
Please repeat the question.
How do technologies or tools cultivate CX? Or do you think customer experience can be cultivated by digital technologies?
Yes, because essentially the business has a brand, or or like a page, and the customer's experience is based off of the interaction with those various pages, such as the websites and the engagement with their various social media pages.
Okay. All right. Then lastly, what is the significance of customer experience on digital marketing? So why are we discussing customer experience now? Does it matter to digital marketing?
It does matter to digital marketing.
How so?
Yeah, I think it matters because like it builds customer like loyalty and trust between like the brand and customers, and obviously it impacts the company.
Okay, before you said something, you started with yo. What was happening?
I'm saying yo because at work we just launching our CX, and my mind is just tired now that I have to deal with the same thing at work and I'm coming back to it.
Yeah, you see, in most cases, especially in the workplace, you'd do things practically, and now to apply the theory of it, you only realize, let's say when you're in class, I was discussing with someone this morning who is doing a master's, trying to investigate the relationship between marketing practitioners and academics. Like there seems to be a gap between what people are learning and what people are actually doing in the industry. So realize that you can actually come up with a campaign or an activation which is more related to customer experience, but it says nothing about customer experience. So it's the practicality of it. So I'm hoping that with this lesson, you end up being crazy because it's something that you are doing at work, but now you also need to deal with it, and it becomes monotonous in your brain. So I just hope it won't addict you. Okay, guys, based on this engagement that we have had, we have discussed this at the beginning of the year, that digital marketing as a concept, digital marketing as a practice, is the promotion of a brand, its products, its services, or any of its associations on digital platforms. That's what digital marketing is. Then we also discussed the 5 Ds of managing digital interaction. If you remember, guys, we discussed the 5 Ds. So 5 Ds are the things that could make an interaction with online customers possible. Things like device, that's the first D. So you need a digital device. You need a device to connect with a brand, you know. You need a device that is going to host a platform. Then we've got a digital platform. We've got digital media. We've got data. You need internet connection and you need insights about your customers. What is another D that I didn't mention? So when you're talking about those 5 Ds, you'd realize then now that when your audience, I'm talking from a brand point of view, when your customers or the people you are interacting with associate with you, and that association is continuous, you know, an experience is formed there. It can be a desirable experience and it can also be an undesirable experience. What is experience? You know, experience is a broad concept. But when someone is unpacking the concept of experience, we need to hear about things like treatment. We need to hear about things like senses, you know. We've got a sense of touch, a sense of smell. Guys, you know all the 5 senses, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You have to have that senses and cognitive, the thoughts, the memory, you know. When someone says Coke to you, Coca-Cola, what comes to your mind? So all those things are based on experience. But I'm going to unpack experience on the next slide. So customer experience is a totality of cognitive, affective, sensory, and behavioral consumer responses during all stages of consumption process, including pre-purchase, consumption, and post-purchase stages. So here, I'll start with the word cognitive. You know, the moment you hear someone says cognitive, it's something that has to do with your mind, with your memory, with your brains, you know. It's something to do with your memory card, your human memory card. I know as human beings, we've always misled ourselves thinking that our memory card is in our heart, you know. When you tell someone, you know, I've been thinking about you, you are always on my heart. You know, the heart is just there to pump blood, you know, scientifically. So there's no need for Rezia to tell someone that, you know, you occupy a special position on my heart. You know, cognitive, it's all about the mind, something that is inside your head that you think about a brand, you know. So whatever that you think about a brand, it can be based on assumptions that you have, something that you have heard from others. It may be based on past relationship that you have had with the brand. It may also be based on something that has happened that has got nothing to do with that brand, but because there are activities that are happening associated with that brand, then you just have some stereotypes, you know. For example, during COVID, you know, there were many sources that claimed that COVID originated from China. So all of a sudden, if you come across a Chinese brand, you've got these thoughts, you know, about, you know, whether it could be linked to COVID and stuff like that. So it's all in the mind. That's cognitive. And the mind plays a big role when it comes to consumers making a purchasing decision or an engagement decision with brands. Then affective, here we'll be talking about feelings. I think you guys know what affection means, right?
Yes.
So here it's all about the emotions associated with a brand. You know, if I mentioned Dove, all of a sudden Obunolo is going crazy because Dove works better in her body, something like that. So it's more personal, it's more emotional, and it's based on the experience that you have with that certain brand, be it Dove or be it Albany, Then sensory, that's where we talk about the feelings of touch, the feelings of sight, the feeling of taste, the feelings of hearing, the sense of hearing, the sense of smell, everything that is associated to a brand from a sensory perspective. I know that testing, the sense of taste, it's actually using a tongue to taste something. But from, a social point of view, the word taste has been used several times to mean how you taste something as if you are tasting it with a tongue. I always hear people saying that this is not my taste. Have you heard that before, guys?
Yes.
She's wearing all stars. That's not my taste. It's all about experience. It's part of CX, Then behavioral consumer responses, we get that, sometimes consumers' responses can change based on the pestle that is happening in the world, be it political, social, or economic situation in the country. Always think about it when there's something racist or something Islamophobia or something anti-Christian or something, anti-sexual. The responses from consumers are always different. Think about clicks here, where they said health, a black woman is dull and stuff like that. All of a sudden, the behavioral consumer responses change. You've got people saying that let's boycott this thing, and others say let's do this thing. So all these happen during pre-purchase, consumption, and post-purchase. So you don't necessarily have to buy something from a brand in order to have customer experience. Then digital experience, on the other hand, is the interaction between a user and a brand that is made possible because of digital technologies. Digital customer experience is a brand's digital experience that includes a brand's presence on different platforms, including desktop website, mobile sites, apps, ads on gaming platforms, and digital install. The quality of digital experience is based on the combination of rational and emotional factors of using a brand's online services that influence customer perception of a brand online. So, integrating online in-store should be top priority for all multi-channel brands to create an experiential and destination shopping experience. So nowadays, it's all about collaborating and syncing the offline and the online world. And there are so many brands that are doing that well, but some are not doing it well. There seems to be a gap between the experience that customers are getting offline and the experience that customers are getting online. While it's most through digitization and digitalization, most are able, to integrate the CXM, the customer experience management, both online and offline. Guys, do you know what is digitization and do you know what is digitalization? Have you ever heard that before?
I've heard it, but I didn't even know there was a difference.
Okay, let's hear Obunolo.
I've heard them before as well. I don't know the definitions.
You guys hear a lot of things, but we never ask what is it that you are hearing, eh?
Yeah, we just let sleeping dogs lie.
All right, there is a big difference. It's something that I considered when I was doing my PhD, but unfortunately, my first supervisor passed on, and I had to change the area of study. So there's digitization, while it's the second one has got an LI on it, is digitalization. We can never talk about customer experience if we do not discuss the concept of digitization and digitalization. So, in simple words, digitization is the migration from traditional media to digital media. An example that I could give you guys is your birth certificate or your IDs, you know. So you have got an ID which is in a traditional format. When I say traditional format, I'm talking a print version, right? But the moment you are scanning that ID and having it in a PDF format, an electronic format, you have digitized that ID. So digitization is just migrating from traditional to digital form. I'm telling you this, guys, because you might never know. You come across it elsewhere, they ask you what's the difference, then you don't know. So did you get it, guys, about digitization?
Yes, it's the migration from traditional to digital.
All right, and I gave you an example of your ID. You know, when you are printing it or you are scanning it, and you've got an electronic version. You know, we do that especially when we are looking for jobs. We scan our stuff, and you know, we send them, because we cannot send them in a physical format. You know, using the post office like that. So that's digitization. Then digitalization. Digitalization is when you use technologies to actually create digital content or digital media. So I will discuss the ID example again. So with digitalization, you do not have to scan that ID in a PDF format. You don't have to scan that physical ID to be a PDF format. What you do, you actually get that ID in a PDF format. So you are not converting anything from traditional to digital here. You are letting the machines, you are letting the technologies, be it AI or whatever plugins that you are using, to create an ID version of, you know, a copy of a version of your original ID. I don't know if I'm making any sense, guys.
Maybe another example of digitalization, because it's using technologies to create digital media. So
Yes.
how would you do that with an ID that's online or like the soft copy?
The government will issue you, like they don't have to print a copy for you.
Oh, so is that digitalization?
Yes. So, for example, many countries are introducing what they call e-passports. Have you ever heard about that?
No.
An electronic passport. So that's digitalization. So if you go to Home Affairs, they will give you, you know, they will have tools that will create a digital copy of your ID. You don't have to carry it physically. So
Okay.
that's digitalization. So digitization is like taking a picture or making a copy of something using a computer so you can see it on screen. Whereas digitalization is when you use the computer to actually change how things work. Like using apps to do tasks. Think about the filters that you have on your phones, guys. How they create your images based on what you fed them. You know, you want to remove those pimples on your face. It's actually creating a new image on the system. I don't know. Have you ever used those things, guys?
Yes.
That's digitalization. Here it's only the word that is so heavy for you guys, but it's things that we do on a daily basis. You know, we have digitized our signatures, we've got e-signatures, so you don't have to draw. So if you have got signing powers at work or at home, if hello?
Oh, sorry, we lost you there for a minute.
Yeah, for some seconds I realized that I'm off. I think it was a network glitch since I'm in load shedding. So I was saying that if you have got signing powers, be it at home or at work, and you actually, you know, write down your signature on a piece of a paper, a blank paper, then you take a clear photo of that signature, you upload it so that whenever you are signing, you attach that signature. That's digitization, right? But nowadays with PDFs, you know, being sent something to fill in using a computer, you create your own signature on that PDF that you sign there. It's digitalization. I think I've tried enough, Razia. You should be able to know the difference now.
Yes, yes, yes. I found another definition as well. Do you mind if I read it?
Yes, you can. Please share.
It's from digitalleadership.com. It says digitization refers to the process of converting physical information into digital formats, while digitalization refers to the use of digital technologies to improve business operations and create new value for customers.
Okay, did you get that, Onolo?
Yes.
All right, so we can never talk about customer experience if we don't talk about digitalization, especially considering that many brands in South Africa, they still have that offline presence. You know, we can see checkers everywhere online, but we also know that they've got physical stores. So you'd see checkers having an online catalog, you know, for promotions, you know, and also an offline catalog. So here I'm just emphasizing the last statement. The integrating online in-store should be a top priority for all multi-channel brands. You know, at the end of the day, you want the customer experience to be seamless. So how do we then create an effective digital experience? Given the popularity of digital devices for finding out about brands and products, improving the capability to create and maintain this effective online brand presence is a key part of digital marketing. So that's how digital marketing fits in when it comes to CX. So effective means that the presence must deliver relevance. Presence must deliver relevance and a satisfactory digital customer experience for its audience. You know, the moment people feel like, you know, interacting with your platforms is actually boring, they leave you, they abandon you, even if you've got great products. You know, I've heard people saying that, you know, it's difficult to navigate on their website. It's difficult to navigate on their app. Even if I want this product, I might as well end up getting it elsewhere. So that's poor CX. So effective means the presence must support and add value to the brand to deliver the results of the brand. Effective designs are based on integrating with the entire customer journey for different audiences and different scenarios to achieve the best result. Customer journey is a description of modern multi-channel buyer behavior as consumers use different media to select suppliers and make purchases and gain customer support. So this is how you create an effective digital experience. The best ingredient is relevance. So when, most platforms, we are going to talk a lot about websites today. Most platforms that our brands have, they're owned by the marketing team. And as marketing team, you must always ask yourself if you are delivering relevance, because relevance is the heartbeat of customer experience. All of a sudden, people always ask, is this relevant to me? Does it speak to my soul? And stuff like that. Design. Then now we are going to look at design of online presence. But before we do that, I'd like us to have a discussion here. What is online presence, according to your own understanding?
Online presence is like,
Don't say it's being online, it's being present online, please.
it's like the stuff you put out, the content you put out is your online presence.
Okay, let's hear some other thoughts.
I think online presence is having I think online presence is being accessible online, like as a brand, having pages or having like a website, having social media, a platform where customers and people can find you from. So being easily accessible online.
Okay. All right. Both of you are mentioning what you're saying is correct. I'm not arguing with you. I just want to add onto something that we are discussing here. So if someone asks you about online presence, you just say it's being alive. Being alive in the digital community. Okay? So it doesn't end with posting content. It doesn't end with having a social media account. I know many strategists struggle with this as well, You hear people saying, you can find us on Instagram, you can find us on Twitter. What are you doing there? Nothing. They're just there because everyone else is there. You have to be alive. You have to breathe. You have to have blinkers there, Whenever customers do something on your account, you blink to show them that you are alive. So being alive, I mean, content-wise, engagement-wise, in everything, you are just alive, as Obunolo put it. But I've realized that, there's a church and they say they've got a Facebook page. Yes, they are present on Facebook, but they're not maintaining online presence. That's platform presence. So there's a difference, guys, between platform presence and online presence. So they would say they've got a Facebook page, but on that Facebook page, the last content that they put there was in 2015. That's not online presence. That's platform presence. Online presence is just your status. It's just like your status on WhatsApp, where it says online. It means that you are there, you are alive at the moment. The moment it says last seen 12 minutes ago, it means that for now you are dead, you are going to be alive again. I don't know if I'm making any sense, guys.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So in order to create effective digital experience, the design of online presence needs to have a look at the following. Ease of locating the site through search engines. So you need to boost what I would call findability. You know, you also need to be able to have services provided by partners online on other websites. So there's collaboration. You can even use aggregators like Hippo. So if you're an insurance, you need to be found elsewhere. If you are a flight, an airways company, you know, you need to be found by all those aggregators, such as TravelSet and so on. The quality, you must also consider the quality of outbound communication, such as newsletter. Nowadays, most brands are doing that very well, you know. The moment you sneeze on their website, they are going to come to you like fire. You were on a website and you clicked on something, they are sending you an email saying that you might have forgotten something. It means that they are alive, they are online, you know. Even if you do that at 1 a.m., they are going to have outbound communications to you. It doesn't have to be necessarily newsletters. Then also the quality of incoming queries. When someone tags you, when someone mentions you, when someone creates a hashtag against you, do you have to respond after 5 days? You know, do you have to leave it? So effective online presence also has also to be considered by the way you deal with incoming queries. Then you also have to be able to integrate offline communication and touch points like store phones as part of multi-channel marketing. You know, I'll go back to the church, or I'll go back to a school. So you see someone saying that you are present on Facebook as a church. But when you go there, you see that the scriptures that they last put there was in March. Hence, we have had many Sunday services. So there's no consistency there. There's no presence. Because from a presence point of view, it means that for all these weeks, there were no services in church. Nowadays, you find a school principal running a social media account for a school on her own or on his own, because she or he doesn't have marketing experience. She or he doesn't update the school fees and everything that needs to be updated there. Then customers, because they are used to the digital world, they search that school and they find it on Facebook because it is there on Facebook, and they realize that the school fees there is 5,000 rands. They make a budget, they plan when they are going to send their kids to that school. The moment they arrive at that school, they inquire about enrollment, and the school principal says, yes, there is a place. Then the parent has to pay the 5,000 as seen on the page. All of a sudden, you are being told that no, that price was for 2021. How would you feel as a parent? Ignore that price on Facebook. It was for 2021. It was posted in 2021.
I'd be so annoyed.
So those are the components of customer experience that we are discussing. You know, online presence means that everything that is there is updated. You know, everything is up to date. That there's a sync between what is happening in your business and what is happening with your digital marketing department. You know, I always hear people saying that price is only for the website. Communicate clearly with your consumers, or else there's going to be trouble. They are going to leave you. That's the trouble. So this is the online customer experience pyramid. I'm not going to touch base on that one. I'd like you guys to go through it. I believe it's in your textbook. I can't just remember on which page, but it is available in your textbook. Can someone locate it?
Page 288.
Okay, all right. So you need to go through it. It's straightforward, rational, emotional, promised experience. We've been there. We've even been promised by our boyfriend and girlfriends and become something else. Obunolo mjolo wise. All right. So in conclusion about this lesson, by now you should be able to know the success factors that contribute to an effective digital experience delivered as a website, mobile app, or where relevant, install virtual or augmented reality. You should be able to assess the strength and weakness of different service quality and e-loyalty frameworks. Are there any questions on lesson 97?
No questions.
Oh, no? All right. In the next lecture, we are going to look at web and app development. So let's quickly go to lesson 98. Guys, if I'm not making any sense, you know what to do, right? You let me know. I'm quickly loading up. Let me see if my laptop is going to work now. No, it's actually wasting time. Let me just continue with what I've been doing. So we need lesson